Hi YouTube, how are you? I'm doing pretty good, not too bad. Oh, I have to give my kitty a bath. I gave her some antibiotics this morning, and yeah, she's doing okay, but I hope she starts doing better, But I know it seems like I talk about the same old issues a lot, but there just isn't enough being done about, like the pedophiles of this world and all the lying that's gone on, you know, the information. Like when they burned the library, the Alexander Library with all the information, they moved some, I know for a fact, into the Vatican. And the Jesuits and Masons, they have, of course, they know the truth. And it's time they start putting it out there for us because the subject of what I'm going to talk about is involving pedophiles, but it's also including the lies about giants. Now, personally, I don't believe that there was giants on this planet. The language, like he was a giant of a man, meaning, like, say, for instance, Trump or somebody, or Kim Jong un, they might describe him as a giant in his country or our country or whatever. That's a giant of a man. And for the so called fallen angels to come here and they were so much larger, breeding with women, and no, there was a child raped and probably died because, well, it does describe the death of these women trying to give birth and whatever, but that isn't how I take it. I take it as like depictions of pet- petroglyphs and that type. You'll see like a alien and two little people or something. Yeah, like the two witnesses saw that big person that had molested and hurt them, you know. So that's the way I take it when they say um, that giants roam this earth. I don't care how many fake bones they dig up and try and push as truth towards us. I have never seen a giant. I'm 5'9". My legs are 36 inches long. I have met maybe three other women in my life. I mean, there's taller ones now than there used to be, but I haven't met very many women that are as tall as me. And you know, why why would I believe in somebody that was like 16 feet tall or 35 feet tall or anything like that? I don't. That's why I don't. Because it just doesn't make sense. It's like you'll have these Egyptian gods like Enki, for instance, with the headdress on looking like a eagle or whatever and the pointy hats. I mean, all making them look taller. Well, to a little kid, that's a freaking giant. Even to say if they somebody like that walked into a Native American village before they had any TVs or anything like that, that person would look like a giant, you know, with all the theatrics. And if they knew how to trick people, that's what they do. And that's what they've always done. So that's just my outlook on that. So thought I'd get on here. I just came in from outside. It is such a beautiful day. It's probably about 34, 35 degrees, which is really nice. Um, I was watching my squirrels this morning out by the feeder, bird and squirrel feeder. um, they would grab up one of the dried cranberries I gave them. They have cranberries and corn, and now I just put some Rice Krispies out for them too. So They eat everything, you know. They have bread and Rice Krispies, corn. Whoops, I got a pizza. I don't know if it's going to show up. Excuse me. Uh, maybe. Oh, oh. Oh no. Let me see if I know how to get this smaller. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just learned something. I've done that before, but not when I was rolling. So, yeah. Um, yeah, they were having so much fun. They'd grab a dried cranberry and run up the tree and eat it like a cookie. And when the one was done and Doug was watching it and she put her hands together like it, and Doug goes, "Yep, it was just what I was praying for." You know, they're so cute, just funny. And they were running all over the place. And Doug said, "Yeah, it's because of all the sugar." And I said, "Well, yeah, and it's nice out. They're goofy anyway, but so yeah, yeah. I hate to give my kitty a bath, but I have to do it, because she's older, and I made her a bed. We've got well, two couple of cook. Well, I've got a wood cook stove and a heating wood stove, and behind the heater one, I put a pet blanket down there. I cleaned it up really good this morning and put that back there for her. She's there right now, but she's really going to need it if she gets wet. And I'm sure she can hear me saying it. I hope I can get it done, and because I have to clean her owie and then put medicine on it. So yeah, just I just have to get the bottom of her wet. So poor little thing, though, and she really isn't a very big cat. She weighs about maybe 6 pounds, but yeah, that's even pushing it. I don't think she even weighs that much. But when she was younger, she probably weighed about 4 pounds. Just a little kind of tall though. She's kind of a wiry little thing, or was I should say. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, what is everybody up to? I'm sure some of you are working. That sucks when you got to go to a job. I'm lucky I don't have to go anywhere anymore. That's not, oh, it was terrible. Especially like I had vehicles if they would break down or something because I couldn't afford a new one, and because we were too busy paying this place off. So it was kind of like we had to pick what we wanted to work on vehicles or have rent to pay. So we picked the working on vehicles and paying our place off. So, mm, cold coffee. I like it. I like any kind of coffee. Cappuccinos, frappuccinos, you know, anything. Except I don't like them really, really sweet. If I have like a cappuccino, I like the French vanilla cappuccinos. Those are really good. I used to buy this mix. It was called Village Inn, and it was a French vanilla cappuccino. And you put it in your coffee or just put it with hot water because it had coffee in it. So if I made like a light pot of coffee, normal for everybody else, mine would be more like almost like espresso, you know. So I bought Doug an espresso one time, and we were at a car show, and he took a sip of it. He's like, "Whoa!" Like he couldn't do it. So I drank both of them, and I was just wired. So that was okay because we were about 80 miles away from home. So down in the cities, and that just wears me out when I have to go down there. So I don't mind going up to Duluth. That's about the same amount of distance, about an hour drive, just a little over. But it's such a beautiful little town. It's got a lot of old Victorian houses and some real beautiful brickwork, and a lot of the older places that are really spectacular were owned by a lot of merchants, like sales, you know, like captains of ships and that type of thing would build their homes there, and like a mansion on a hill, that type of thing. So really, really beautiful city, full of hills and with Lake Superior there. It's so pretty. So they have a lift bridge that comes down and goes up when the ships come through, and that was stuck the other day with ice. Doug goes, I wonder if anything happened. And well, I hadn't even heard it was stuck, but that makes sense because if the mechanics of it get like ice, and there was big waves coming right over the sidewalk and everything where spectators can stand there, huge waves coming in there and just wicked. So, but yeah, some Novembers, well, it's December now, but um, like the wreck of the Edmunds Fitzgerald, a big ship on there, and oh, I think it was like oh, like over 100 men died on that or something like that. But yeah, those big lakes are treacherous as any ocean, you know. Well, any body of water is, it can be. I know I was with my canoe over in our local lake, one of them, and it got windy out, and I smashed my paddle up against a rock trying to keep my canoe from hitting the rocks, and broke my paddle. I was lucky to get into shore that time, but yeah, stayed out fishing, and there was a storm coming in, but I was fishing for that big one, and I finally did get it. But I always wanted to get a great big northern pike, and I finally did. And I'm scared to death of them too because they have teeth. They look like a wolf underwater, you know, with really spiky and rows. They have like 18 rows of spiky teeth on the roof and the bottom of their mouth. They're just, and they have like canines. They're just wicked. So, yeah. Oh, let's see what else is going on. Oh no, just kind of waiting for something to happen in this world. It just seems like something big's going to happen. And I agree with a lot of people. I think that the sun we see is not our original sun, and this is not our original sky. And things just seem different from when I was a kid. And I don't remember the last time I've seen a cloudless sky, like just a blue sky, you know. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been that long. At least, at least 20 years, maybe more. Always seems to be a cloud. So, yeah, my dog, she likes to yell when Doug's outside, and um, oh, maybe she sees a squirrel or something. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Robin's Hood was talking about fasting. He was talking about eating once a day, and I say that quite often. It's like uh I eat once a day typically, maybe two or three times a year. I might have like a breakfast or and then get hungry like later at night or something. That I'm literally saying like 2 or 3 times a year I eat more than once a day. Otherwise, I eat a normal meal, what I would typically eat anytime I've ever ate, and that's what I eat once a day. And that's why I believe this is my own personal opinion. Do whatever you want to do. But when people think that they have to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, especially if you're not really extremely active, um, I can eat what I want and not gain a pound because, well, no, I should take that back. I have to watch the things I'm allergic to because I will swell up from that. But um, not actual weight from any normal thing I eat anytime. Because, and then when I do fast, if I do like a 2 or 3 day fast, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear about it, but it's just me. I do that quite often, at least a couple times a year, at least. But I fast all day long, every day until nighttime. So every 24 hours, I have something to eat once a day. That's it. And I think it's a healthy way to live. I've never had any problems. Um, I really, I mean, I've known so many people that get up and they'll eat like cereal and toast or bacon and eggs and juice and whatever. I mean, I'm not putting you down. And then lunchtime comes around and they have like a sandwich or soup and they have, or, whatever. Um, Lunch plates at diners, and then they go home and they'll have like steak or roast or um or whatever hot dish, whatever they have. But and then they wonder why they're overweight because then they'll have snacks and then they'll have like juice and sodas and drinks, and it's like, where do you put all of it? What do you do with all that fuel? It'd be like trying to force more gas in my car if you only have like a 8 gallon tank and you're trying to cram 24 gallons into that thing. It's gonna spill. It's gonna be a mess. I don't know. I just don't get it. But anyway, so yeah, I agree with if you can keep it down to eating once a day, unless you're really, really working hard, your body will tell you. In fact, even coming off of a fast, um, you do have to be careful not to overeat, but your body will tell you what you need. It's like, whoa, if it is a carb, it might be a carb, you know, but then you might want to force yourself to have some vegetables with it or something like that. So, and if I was working really, really hard and I used to have just like vegetables for lunch, um, or I would get up when I was doing drywall like a man, literally. I would get up and have like a leftover piece of hamburger cold and a glass of milk for my protein, or like hard boiled eggs or eggs. But if you're working hard and you need something more than just vegetable, just throw an egg alongside of it or something. And so, oh, we had something really good, and it was Doug's idea because I had, well, I've made before. You take corn tortillas, like the homemade ones, or you can buy them store bought, the soft corn ones, and you fry them a little bit, and then you cook eggs in salsa. I can't remember what they call it. I used to know the name, but it eludes me right now. And then you take the egg, it's sort of like poached in the salsa, and put it on. I wanted to say chorizo. It's not. That's a sausage, but kind of sounds like that if I recall. But anyway, and then you put the egg and the salsa on that corn tortilla. It's really good. Well, the other night I made burritos because I had some sour cream to use up. And we always have like salsa hanging around, or I have stuff to make it like jalapenos in a jar and that type of stuff, tomatoes and, you know, onion. But anyway, so he said, how about an egg with that? And I thought, maybe. So I put two burritos and two eggs. Oh, I had put some cheese on the burrito and then put the egg on top of that and then put some salsa and some sour cream with it because we needed more protein, and it was really good because they were store-bought burritos and it's probably soy in there, not not a whole lot of meat anyway. So if you're gonna burn off the protein and the fat, then that that's a good way to go. And it was really delicious. I was surprised. It reminded me of that breakfast, um, Spanish breakfast dish, or Mexican. I think the lady that I saw make it, I think she married a Mexican and she was South American, but they both were Hispanic. It was some cooking show I was watching, and she was like the cutest little lady, just funnier than heck, and had two little boys, and one of their cousins would always come in and she would try her recipes out on them. So, um, yeah, she was really funny to watch. That's when I had some satellite or like oh, I don't know, Direct TV or Dish or one of them at a couple different times. We had one. We had like Dish Network for a very long time, like 8, 9 years, something like that. And they jacked up their prices. But then for their customers that had been with them for a long time, they kept raising our prices. And we're like, come and get your dish. And they didn't want to come and get it. So Doug tacked it on our horse's lean to. And it was really funny. There's only been one person that actually noticed that Dusty had a satellite dish on her lean to. Oh, I see your horse has got cable out there or satellite. Yeah, we started laughing because, one person. We have a lot of people that come in and out of the yard typically, so that's God, you know, somebody could just jump out of the bushes and kill them type of people because they're not aware of their surroundings, obviously. Oh, and I heard a thing, and I believe this is true, that like it was something like 1 out of 5 adults cannot read fluently. That's amazing, but I believe it because their vocabulary is very limited. So if somebody's pushing themselves to learn more words and apply them in a conversation, cool, way to go. You know, can't go around trying to converse and actually learning words from all over the world. That's a big deal to me because how do these people like different languages that have the same word, and what does it mean in their language, or what is their translation for a word. That's always interested me. So I see little things flying around in the sunlight, probably cat hairs. So usually Doug's cat doesn't come in my room, but my dog and my cat each have. My cat has a chair that is her bed in here. My dog has couch cushions that I turned into a doggy bed for her. So, yeah. And really, if I didn't live in the country, I probably wouldn't have had another dog. But they really are nice because my driveway's about an eighth of a mile long. It's a circular one, and if somebody tries to come up into the yard, my dog lets me know. So it is nice. It's nice to have. She is. And she's a good girl, so most of the time. Well, Doug's cat this morning was mad because Doug went out to work in his shop and he's been working on wood and plowing snow lately. So he's been cold. He'll come in and his cat gets kind of spoiled having him around. Well, this morning he'll grab one of his toys and just wow, yell when Doug goes out. Well, he gets pissed off. He pokes my dog. Then the dog growls and goes to attack him. She doesn't really do anything to him, but she sounds real bad. But God, he's a little you know. Hey, Robert, his name's Robert. He's got a bobtail, and his name is Robert Staub because Doug's math teacher, I think it was his math teacher, that was his name, Robert Staub, and he was kind of a shorter guy, so Doug named his cat after one of his teachers. So that's Bobby. They call him Robert Bobby and Bobbert and all kinds of Bubba and all kinds of names. He's got a lot of nicknames. This morning I think it was asshole, but yeah, he's a good boy. He just he's spoiled. So he's one of them where Doug can't hardly get on and check his emails without his cat being there trying to lay in his arms and whatnot. And so mine doesn't do that. So not to me anyway. So yeah, he's a brat. But anyway, put a lot of thought into that giant thing, and I don't buy it. Little people this big and giant people all that big, and yeah, you show me one. I mean, after 60 years, you think I'd see a flippin' giant. And I've been all over the United States and a couple foreign countries, and I've really never seen too many big people. I mean, really big. Like, I've never seen a giant, you know. And then they say that um, soldiers killed one in Afghanistan in a cave. Yeah, right. Sure, they did. That was only to take people's minds off of what they were really doing in Afghanistan. Is actually political games for political gains, just to get money out of the taxpayers for their fake wars so they can hire their cousin to work in their local government and be like a social worker, and we'll get our aunt a job in one of the local stores, and we'll keep it all tight knit, and um you send us your money for these wars and we'll make sure that um little Kathy, or I'll say Jonathan, has enough nice clothes to get on YouTube and make fake reports of anything he wants to say, just as long as he's got nice clothes and he doesn't ever have to worry about food or transportation or a place to live, because these people always help each other in that area, that type of thing. As long as they can make I won't even grant them. See, calling them the Illuminati is insulting to the true, brilliant, illuminated people. You know, they're not any more illuminated than my dog's behind. You know, and if they didn't know what the fakery was, they would have less of a chance of understanding this world than the people actually trying to figure it out, you know? So, and, I could say that about myself in one extreme. If I didn't know what I had read when I was younger, it would be harder for me to know what to believe. but I still would probably know more than most people because I'm kind of an investigator like that, you know. I don't really quit until I'm satisfied I've heard the truth, you know. So, anyway. Okay, well, I'm going to let you go. I wanted to get this taken care of and say hello to everybody. And I hope you have a very nice night or day wherever you're at. Thank you for joining me. Um, Let me know what you think about that giant thing because I think it's a bunch of hooey. I think it's bull. I really do. And I have every time I hear it, it's like, hey, you liars, you're so full of bullshit. Whatever it takes to fool everybody, they don't care. You know, they really don't. If I could look these people in the eyes when they're trying to lie to me, you know, but yeah. Okay, peace, everybody. Have a good day or night.